Okay, Juan. So thank you for being here today. We're going to be talking about the partner experience regarding ready-made events. So ready-made events are basically what the title implies, are events that are provided by the vendor. The templates mostly are already filled out for you, so the customization part of the event is minimal. That way you can get an event set up and running in no time at all. Part of the things that we're going to be covering today is accessing the event. So I'm going to be walking you through the parts of the platform where you can access the vendor-based events. Once we get an event chosen, we're going to be walking through the event management, such as setting up the event. Um, this includes giving it a title, a brief description, the dates of the event, and the date that you want the registration to end. Also,
Okay.
we're going to be going through the editing the registration page, which can be said to be the foremost important part of the actual event because it's where the partners will get all the information regarding the event that's going to be scheduled. Also, we're going to walk through updating the emails. This means the invite and reminder emails or the confirmation emails if you so wish to add a confirmation email to the event. Um, Also, walking through the basics of sending invitations and reminders. This is just basically for partners to have the option to actually register their event, or if not once registered, to get the actual reminder so they don't forget to attend said event. And lastly, we're just going to be covering basics of the way the platform reports on the events. This includes reporting on the marketing aspect of the event, such as all the emails that have been sent, or
Okay.
the actual registration of the event. Okay.
Sounds
So,
good.
do you have any question regarding the agenda as of now?
No, no, not as yet. Ready to dive
Okay.
in?
Awesome. Let's dive in then. Okay. So basically, what we have here is a normal marketing studio screen. As you
Mm-hmm.
can see, in our hub, we have our basic tabs, which are campaign libraries and whatnot. So,
Mm-hmm.
for the purpose of this training, we're going to jump right into the library. Uh, as you may know, the library is where all our assets are contained, whether it
Yep.
be emails, etc., etc. So we're just gonna let this load for a sample. Oh, I already I already chosen events. Okay, so
Oh, no worries.
let's just back up here for a while. Okay, so this is the what we'll get the first time we access the library. All the assets are going to be compiled into folders for your convenience. If we scroll down a little bit, you can see events here. So we're going to go ahead and click that. So keeping in mind, events vary from vendor to vendor. This is some of the sample events we have for this training. We're just going to go ahead and click on the sample event right here.
All right.
So once we click on the sample event, we get a preview tab of the event of what it looks like. As you can see here, this is the actual registration page you would be getting with the event. So let's just say we decide to go with this one.
Mm-hmm.
We just click customize and activate. This will import the actual event into an account, adding all the automatic marketing assets field that we had previously set up in our settings. Okay,
All right.
so once we're in, simple enough, we get the event preview page. Here, as you can see, we can choose the event name. So you can give the event any name you so wish. We'll just keep it at sample event for the purposes of training. You can give the event a brief description. So let's just say training, event for training. And as I was saying, you can customize this as you deem fit. Moving on, a good thing to keep in mind is that the red asterisk, as you might know, they just mean that those are required fields. So you
Yeah.
won't be able to continue on the different tabs of the event unless you have those fields covered. Some of the non-required fields, for example, is an event thumbnail, which you can give so you can better order the events on your tactics page. So you can give a thumbnail. Also, here's the most important part of the events: scheduling when the event begins and ends. So for example, you can choose any date you want for the event to begin and end. It's good to keep in mind that you should schedule the registration either as soon as the event ends, because we've ran into situations where partners forget to actually end the registration. So for example, if you're giving, if the event is a contest or is a limited number event, sometimes you forget to end the registration and people actually register after the event is done.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, and so that can bring some situations up and where people are left in the air, and we want to avoid that. So it's always good to keep in mind that you should end the registration when the event ends or before that. It's up to you. Oh my god, what was that? Okay, moving on. As you can see, the event time zone, you can choose any time zone you're in or you want the event to take place, and you can apply daylight savings or not apply it depending on the time of year. Also, you can choose a maximum number of attendees for this event. This just means that when you reach that number, the registration will automatically close for that event. So if someone above 30 people wishes to enter the event, they're going to be denied the registration of the event because the maximum number of attendees has been reached.
Got it.
Okay. Other than that, you should be able to skip all this. Remember to click save as always. When we're done editing everything, click the green save button, and then we can be moving on. Okay, so up next is the registration page tab. As I was saying, this can be considered the most important part of an event, as you would normally put all the information about the event on the registration page to help explain or promote the actual event to the partners.
Yep.
As you can see, the registration page for this event is already set up because it's already made. So we have the normal custom fields such as first name, last name, whatnot. It's good to keep in mind that you can actually move this around to your convenience. So for example, you can just click drag and drop. It's also good to notice that you can actually add additional fields. So for example, if you wish to add, once you click the add button, I'm sorry, you're gonna be prompted with 2 different types of fields you can add. You're gonna have the contact fields, which is basically allows you to create new contacts or additional existing contact information, such as address, cell phone, office phone, or fax, whatnot. Profiles, they just let you divide your customers into different segments. So basically, if you want a profile field, which is in which industry do you work for example, you can just divide customers into service or marketing or whatnot. It just helps you as the person or your partners as the person executing the actual event to organize their information. The next field you can add is a form field, and this is basically just a customizable field that allows you to add any information you so wish. For example, what is your favorite food, just as an example. And you can use different methods as a drop down or a blank fields for partners to actually fill this information out. So we're just going to leave it at that for the purpose of this training. But keeping in mind, you can add any amount of fields you want, and once it's added, you just can rearrange it. And it will also prompt you if the additional field you're adding, do you wish it to be a required field, or do you wish it to be an optional field? So for when partners get the registration page, they wouldn't be able to go on unless all the required fields are met.
All right. Question on the phone portion of it. So one thing that we're starting to realize on some other like pieces, like the email pieces, is that there's some partners that we're trying to develop part of the form section that they're based out of the UK, and I know our phone number setup is a little bit different in the UK than it is here as far as like the area code and whatnot. Is there a way to adjust these invites for a partner in the UK or in Europe, as far as like their phone numbers being a little bit different, differently formatted than what we're used to.
Yeah, certainly. The idea I would get would be to set up maybe a profile field.
Yeah.
So that way you can actually you know, organize the groups of contacts that are in the UK or Europe, your North American contacts. That way, when they're registering, you can maybe ask, "Are you from Europe?" A profile field that just states, "Are you European or American?"
Yeah.
That way, in the when you export all your reports, you can just organize your contacts into Europeans or North Americans. That way, all the European phone numbers will be, as you said, different, and all your American phone numbers would be are your normal, I think 9-digit, or is it? Yes,
forgot.
10. It's 10-digit, right?
I believe so. I got to look at the form.
Yeah, I believe European phone numbers just have a 2-digit area code.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. Using a profile field would be one of the ways you can answer that, so you can get the same event invite to all your contacts and just basically have them organize themselves when clicking what part of the world they are from.
All right.
Okay. So let's saying that we are content with the registration page and we'll move on to the confirmation page. The confirmation page is basically self-explanatory. It's just once you as a partner are done filling in all the information on the registration page, you're just gonna get automatically redirected to a confirmation page. I'm sorry, basically just telling you that your registration was successful and that you're not part of this event. Also, a good thing to keep in mind is that this confirmation page is totally editable. So it would be edited with this inline text editor as any email would. You could just basically add or delete any text or image as you please. Okay. Any questions so far, Juan, about what we've covered?
No, not at all.
Okay, awesome. Moving on then. Yeah. Okay, confirmation email. So a confirmation email is an optional part of the event setup. If your partners wish to add a confirmation email, this would basically just be a continuation after you register the event. You would get an email just stating that you did successfully register to the event. As I said, this is completely optional, as you can see here. Would you like to send an email confirmation to a customer to fill out this form? You can click yes or no. It would not affect the event in any way, shape, or form. Most partners, or most vendors, I mean, they do add this option. It's just as a record for the partner to know that they are actually registered for the said event.
All right.
Okay. Moving on now to distribution. Okay, so distribution is simple enough. It just means that all the reports and everything will be assigned to the person that is actually scheduling the event to go out, or that would mean the partner in charge of the account. This can be edited if you wish for someone else to get all this information. In most cases, we just leave it as it is.
Okay.
Okay. Now we move on to the invited part. Okay, so for the invited part, this works mainly as our normal email. You would have to import your contacts list in order to get all the contacts you wish the invite to go out to. For the purpose of this training, I already imported a test list. By the way, you can do so by clicking the import button right here, and just by following the import wizard steps and choosing file and uploading said file into the system. As I already
Alright.
did, you can find that under my groups. I imported a group called test. So I would just go ahead and click test and add checked groups. And as you can see, my test list has already been uploaded to the event. So the invite would be sent to all 4 people in this list right here.
All right.
Okay. It's also good to keep in mind that you can add as many contacts as you wish to the invite, as long as the event is for as many people as you wish. Okay, moving on to emails. Okay, so in emails, we get 2 different emails. We get an invitation template and we get a reminder template. It's good to keep in mind that invitation templates are only sent to the people who are added to the contact list under invited. So for example, these 2 work as basic emails. For example, if you and me are added into the invitation contacts list, we would both be getting the invitation template
Yeah.
on the date and time that it's scheduled. And by the way, you can customize all this by clicking on the invitation template name, and this works as a regular email. You can customize the invitation template as you deem necessary, and you can schedule and send it at a different time just by going to the schedule and send right here. This will allow you to pick a date and time. You can also send yourself a test message to see if everything has been edited to your liking.
Yeah. The test. So you said the invitation email goes out on the day of the actual event, right?
The
Or is it
invitation
not?
the invitation template goes out at the date that you wish the invitations to go out.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was thinking because you're seeing somebody register for an event. Does that tie in with the invitation template? Does that make sense? Sorry, I might be confusing myself.
So let me try to explain better. The invitation template would be the actual invitation to the event. So for example, if we're thinking of having an event this Friday, but we're setting up the event today, maybe you want to invite your contacts today. So what they would be getting is the actual invitation template.
Yeah. Okay. Got it. And then they would go in and
Exactly, and
sign up.
they would go in
Got
and they would access the registration page, which was the first thing that we covered. And
Yeah.
after they put the information in the registration page, they would get the confirmation page saying that they registered successfully. And if you decided to add the optional confirmation email, they would get the confirmation email that they registered successfully after.
Got it.
Okay. If you want to go back to the actual event, you just click on the breadcrumb sample and the name of the event, which is sample event, and you're going to be brought back to this page. So a good thing to keep in mind is that the reminder template, so this template just basically works as a reminder once you're already registered. So we got the confirmation email. We went through the process of getting the invitation email, of registering, and getting the confirmation email afterwards. So the reminder template basically just works as a reminder so that we don't actually forget that we have an event planned out for this Friday. So the difference is that the reminder template only goes out to those people that have already registered to the actual event.
Yeah. Got it.
So you can add as many invitation templates as you want and as many reminder templates as you want. It's just good to keep in mind that invitation templates will only be continued to be sent out to people who have not yet registered to the event. So for example, if you and me are both invitees to the event, and I myself registered, but yourself have not yet registered, you would continue to get those invitation templates as long as you keep scheduling them. And I myself would only be getting the reminder templates as long as you keep scheduling them, just to remind me that I already registered for said event, and I would be attending it at whatever date you so wish to add. Okay. Do you have any questions about that? I didn't mean to confuse you.
No, you're good. Made sense.
Okay. Awesome. Moving on. Task and alert. I think we can skip through that. That's nothing of major importance. Yeah. Registered and attended. Okay, so this is the part where you would get all the people that have been registering, attending for the event before it closes or after it closes as well. So you would get the list of contacts that actually registered for the event in this tab. You can search for them by last name, company, email, as long as
Yeah.
this is registered for the actual event.
Got it.
Okay, and lastly, once the event has been sent out, all emails, invites, and reminders have been sent out, and the event has gone by, we can go back to the reports tab, which is here. I know it's going to be empty, but I'm going to try to explain as best as I can as to the difference. So when you're in the reports tab, we have two different reports available to us when we're working with events. One of them being marketing and the other one being registration. The difference between marketing and registration is basically marketing covers all the email or marketing aspects of the actual event. This would cover all open clicks, opportunity leads, and created by all the invite templates or the registration pages that were filled out.
Mm-hmm.
And the registration tab would basically give you all the information about all the registered persons. This includes all the custom fields, profile fields, and contact fields that you added to the actual registration form. So for example, this page would include all yours and my information if you were registered to the event. This includes phone numbers, timestamps of when we actually registered for the event, company name, first name, last name, phone numbers, you name it. And you can just
Yeah.
export this as a PDF or as an XLS file. And this is what I meant, where you could maybe sort through European and American contacts. If you would have a profile field set up for European or North American contacts, you could basically just export this whole registration report and sort it through Excel or whatever program you use to sort out all your Europeans and all your North American contacts, and that way you can have two different lists of registered contacts, and it would be
Okay.
much easier to manipulate the information.
Okay.
Okay, I think this basically covers ready-made events. I don't know if you have any questions. I apologize if I sped through that.
No, you're good, man. It's one of those things where you see it go through and you're like, all right, it makes sense. It's super easy. But I'll definitely, once we start building these for the client, then just expect, I may reach out with a few questions just
Yeah,
to
definitely.
pick your brain on some stuff. So, but no, it's pretty straightforward, makes sense. But just know when we start doing it, yeah, definitely be reaching out to you. So appreciate it. And then if you can just send me this tutorial, the recorded version, that way I can just reference it when we start doing that.
Sure thing, and by all means, you're welcome to reach out to us. Just touching on that, here are some of the channels we have for you to reach out to us. You can reach out to us via email at servicedestructionweb.com. You can call
Okay.
us 24/5. We have an online support center if you need any written material to back what you're working on, and we have a 24/5 chat as well.
All right, perfect. And I think looking through the tutorials, there is a written instructions on this online, right? I think
Yes,
I saw one.
definitely.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, I mean, if neither of those can answer any questions that I may have at the time of setting one of these up, then I'll definitely reach out to you guys.
Awesome, awesome.
All right.
Okay, Juan. So I appreciate it and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
If you have any further questions, you know how to reach us, and we'll be here for you.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, sir.
Okay, have a good one.
Thanks. Bye.